We are 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. Great start for Adam Carruthers. He'll lead him across the start-finish line into Heron Trucker Racing from lane number 2. Now everybody got to hold their lane all the way through the apex of 1. Once they come around turn number 1, then they can start to move over. We've got to have that 4-boat length overwrap. Good turn for Kevin Smith. He leads, but Adam Carruthers is right there on the outside. So is the 92 and the 35s. They head down the backstretch. 3 boats within a rooster tail of each other. Look at the 92 shoot up on the outside. Chris Venaris with a great run from lane number 3. Got to hold it inside there. Got to leave plenty of room for Carruthers and Smith to his inside. They'll come around and complete lap number 1. Chris Venaris in the 92 from lane number 3 will come around. He'll lead lap number 1. 1 down, 4 to go here in Formula F qualifier 3B. So Venaris leads. Kevin Smith running in second. Adam Carruthers running in third, and Austin Hayes runs in fourth. They'll head down into turn number 1 here on lap number 2. Remember, we go 5 times around in Formula F qualifiers. And it's Chris Venaris driving for his brother-in-law. John Shaw heads down the backstretch. He'll lead by almost a rooster tail and a half now over top of Kevin Smith. Adam Carruthers runs in third. Austin Hayes runs in fourth. Down into turn number 2 here on lap number 2. Chris Venaris airing out that 92 tenacity just a little bit. Come around and complete lap 2. 2 down, 3 to go here in Formula F qualifier 3B. And Venaris has opened up on the rest of the field. Kevin Smith still got that Ford, the only Ford left in the field at 2300 Ford power, holding on to second position right now. He's having a great run over top of Adam Carruthers and Austin Hayes, running in third and fourth respectfully. So halfway through qualifier 3B, and it's all Chris Venaris down the backstretch. Opened up by almost half a straightaway over top of Kevin Smith, who's still able to hold off Adam Carruthers and Austin Hayes. So down into turn number 2. Is still Venaris, your leader. We'll come around and complete lap number 3. So it'll be 3 down and 2 to go here in Formula F qualifier 3B, and Venaris is your leader. Kevin Smith opens up the inside for Adam Carruthers, as Carruthers trying to move up on his inside as they battled out for second position. Austin Hayes out in lane number 4, trying to make up some ground, but having to start way up on the outside. It's hard for Austin to make up any ground on those competitors to his inside. So the battle's still for second between Smith, Carruthers, and Hayes, as Chris Venaris is checked out on the field. He's all the way down into turn number 2 already. He'll come around and complete lap number 4. So it'll be the white flag for Venaris as he comes around and completes lap 4. But the battle is still between Smith, Carruthers, and Hayes for second. So 4 down, 1 to go for Venaris, as he comes by with a comfortable lead. Kevin Smith slides out to about lane number 3. Oh, Carruthers is having issues. Adam Carruthers is down on power, and he just pulls it to the infield. Unfortunate for that 38 team. Adam Carruthers fired it back up. He's going to try to finish to get some points. Looked like he was going dead in the water, but Carruthers is going to try to finish and get 4th place points. So let's go back to your leader. The orange boat down into turn number 2. No problem here in Heat 3B for the Tenacity team. Chris Venaris from lane number 3 at the start comes around. He'll look for the checker flag this time by your unofficial winner of Heat 3B, Chris Venaris, the 92 Tenacity. Second place, Kevin Smith. Great run for Kevin. The Dreamweaver, he'll get second position in the 26. Third, we're going to Austin Hayes. And Adam Carruthers looked like he was going to have mechanical issues, was down on power, got it fired back up. And he'll get 4th place points. Oh, got to get it to the line. Come on, Adam. Come on, Adam, get it to the line. There he goes. All right, Adam Carruthers will get 4th place points into Heron Trucker Racing. Hopefully they'll get that fixed up, get ready to go for that 8-boat final later on today. But that'll do it for our Formula F qualification heats. Everybody's run 3 times. We'll set the final. We'll have an 8-boat Formula F final for you a little bit later on today. Coming up next, we'll go to our rookies, Formula R 3A, 3B. They've had some of the most exciting races of the weekend. They'll be coming up here in just a few. Here, hey, leave the Gabby, leave the sound on. And I said leave my sound on. I'll talk to people so they know what's going on. Still on? Okay. All right, turn that this way. Turn that to me if you can. I can stand over here. All right, hey everybody. Obviously we had some issues, and hopefully you stuck with us because we're back live now. Good job by Gabby and the team. Jessica's helping her out today. TJ on the camera. We appreciate you guys sticking with us. We had a torrential downpour of rain that came in right at 10 o'clock as we were getting ready to get started. So that delayed us for about 45 minutes. And then during that time period, something obviously went wrong with our wiring. But we got it figured out. They did a great job getting that figured out. So we are back live for you. So thanks for sticking with us. Right now, we just completed 3A and 3B of Formula F. We're getting ready to move into Formula R, 3A, 3B, which will conclude their qualifying heats. After that, we'll go H350 racing. And then we'll have the final Grand Prix heat, which will be 4A, as they run the round-robin format this weekend. So thank you so much for sticking with us. The whole HRL team does a great job trying to put this live stream on for you. I know you get frustrated if you're sitting at home and you can't see anything, but don't bash us on the chat. We're trying the best we can out here. So thank you so much. Stick with us. We'll be right back with Heat 3A for Formula R. All right, we're in standby for Heat 3A Formula R. All right, 5-minute gun has down at Heat 3A Formula R. This is the same boats we just saw, just rookie drivers. These guys or gals have only been in the sport for a couple years, or maybe it's their first year. So it's a good opportunity to learn before they move up to Formula F with our more competitive and experienced drivers. Should have 5 of them make the call, and it looks like all 5 are out of the pit area. We do have a slight schedule change. After this Formula R heat, we're going to go right into Hydro 350 qualifiers. Hydro 350 qualifiers will be next. We're going to run the 4 Hydro 350 qualifiers, then come back and run Formula R Heat 3B. So just a small change, not really going to affect anything. It's just how we're laying out the schedule. Make it a little bit easier because the Formula H boats, the H350 boats have to run a semifinal. So want to give them plenty of time to get ready for that semifinal. All 5 Formula R out on the race course. They'll come around, we'll introduce them to you. The 345 from the start. First boat on the inside, the red and yellow boat, the 88 Fat Boy Racing. Alex Leduc, he's followed up by Marcel Descoteau in the 113, the 104 D-Rock Racing, a Lucas Desrochers, the 21, a Benjamin Leger, the green and orange boat, and the 13, Alex Caron, had a great day yesterday. Got a second place finish, had a couple really good starts. Young lady's done a great job. She's one of those kids that we talked about stepping up from the novice class into Formula R. She's done a really good job. Adam Carruthers coming by under tow. Give Adam a round of applause for finishing that. He struggled out there, but he got it across the line to pick up those points. Adam comes a long way. He probably has the longest trip of anybody from Rexton, New Brunswick, so got to get all those points, does Adam. Hopefully he'll be ready to go for that final later on today. 2 minutes, 50 seconds from the start. Formula R Qualifier 3A will be followed up by H350 Qualifier 3A. As you can see, our H350 is being lowered into the water now. The 104, Lucas Desrochers, the green boat that just come by start-finish line. He's your points leader coming into the weekend. After yesterday, we'll have to see how it all shook out. I didn't get an opportunity to check out the season-long point standings. Let's look at Formula R right now. Yeah, so he still holds, wow, it's actually tied at the top between the 104 and the 50 coming into today's racing. So very tight battle in Formula R. The 104 D-Rock Racing, who is out on the race course now, the green boat, 362 total points. Aiden Sovey in the Senseless 15, the R50, which we'll see a little bit later on, also with 362 points. So 5th race of the season, and we're tied at the top in Formula R. Pretty competitive for the young drivers. 140 from the start. Marcel Descoteau, the boat on the outside in the 113. Another one, the boat is called. He's learning how to fly that boat, and he really does at times chime walk that thing across the start-finish line down the front stretch. Benjamin Leger currently sitting in 3rd place in high points, having a great season, his first year. The son of longtime racer Yannick Leger. Yannick drove in the Hydro 350 in the Grand Prix for many years. Now his son Benjamin's got the same paint scheme as his dad, running in that number 21 on the outside. 59 seconds, just under a minute to the start. 1 minute away, start of Formula R Qualifier 3A. So we'll get them lined up for you. On the inside will be the 88, Alex Leduc, the red boat with the yellow on the sponsons. So we'll have lane number 1. Lane number 2 will be the all-green boat, the 104, Lucas Desrochers. The white boat, the 113 of Marcel Descoteau, will be in lane number 3. Lane 4 will be the pink and white boat, the 13 of Alex Caron. And on the outside, the orange and green, Benjamin Leger, the 21 Supernova, will be in lane number 5. 19 seconds away. Formula R Heat 3A. Very important race here in the high point standings as they're tied at the top as we are 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. Great start. Alex LeDuc will lead him across into 88. And they'll all head down here to turn number 1. 4 boats tied together. Everybody got to hold their lane all the way through the apex of turn number 1. And Alex LeDuc will get there first. The 88 Fat Boy Racing on the inside. Here's your leader off the exit pit at turn number 1, but he's got a bunch of boats right there to his outside, including the 104, the 113, and the 21. All 4 of them within a rooster tail of each other as they head down the backstretch here on lap number 105. So LeDuc, your leader. You can see Marcel Descoteaux right there on his outside in the 113. The 104 is somewhere sandwiched in the middle as well. You can't even see Lucas Desrochers. He's sandwiched in between the 88 and the 113. There he is. He sticks his nose out to come around and complete lap number 1. 1 down, 4 to go here in Formula R Qualifier 3A, and it's Alex LeDuc, your leader. Marcel Descoteaux moves up on the outside. Lucas Desrochers back in 3rd position, and Benjamin Leger in 4th. They head down into turn 1 here on lap number 2. Alex LeDuc, they have worked really hard in that 88, trying to get that boat running, looking really good here in Qualifier 3A. He leads, but Marcel Descoteaux right there on his outside is going to come side by side with him as they head down the backstretch. Half a boat length advantage for Marcel as they head down here into turn number 2. But watch Alex, he's able to use that inside lane, that shorter way around the race course. He'll move right up on the inside. Good job by Marcel to leave him plenty of room in there. We'll come around and complete lap number 2. 2 down, 3 to go. Formula R putting on some of the most exciting racing all weekend long. They're doing it once again here in 3A. LeDuc leads. Descoteaux runs in 2nd. Desrochers runs in 3rd. Leger runs in 4th. Down into turn number 1 here on lap number 3 of 5. It's still Alex LeDuc over top of Marcel Descoteaux. So Alex will come off the exit pin. He's opened it up by 3 boat lengths now. Marcel was able to make up ground last time they went down the straightaway. We'll see if he's able to do so here as we're halfway through Qualifier 3A for the Formula R. And it's Alex LeDuc, your leader. Marcel Descoteaux still running in 2nd. Lucas Desrochers holding on to 3rd. Oh, Marcel got out of it there. You saw a bunch of white water flip up. Took a tough turn down there into turn number 2. That allows Alex LeDuc to move away with a comfortable 2 rooster tail advantage now. So 3 down, 2 to go. Formula R Qualifier 3A. LeDuc leads. Descoteaux runs in 2nd. Desrochers runs in 3rd. And Leger runs in 4th. As they all come through turn number 1. Here on working lap number 4. So Alex LeDuc, the Fat Boy Racing, he can hold on to this victory. Would be really happy with himself. They have struggled all season long in that 88. They're looking really good. 3.5 laps in here, 1.5 to go. Here in Formula R Qualifier 3A. So LeDuc through the apex of turn number 2. 2 full rooster tail advantage. Marcel Descoteaux to the outside. Lucas Desrochers is going to move up on the inside of Marcel, trying to take over 2nd position. But 4 down and 1 to go for Alex LeDuc in the 88. Battle is for 2nd between the 104 and the 113. Marcel will just hold on to 2nd as they complete lap number 4. Lucas Desrochers is back to 3rd. Benjamin Leger runs in 4th. Alice Caron, she's still doing a good job learning that 13 back here in 5th position. But off the exit of 1, 3/4 of a lap away for the 88 and the Fat Boy Racing and Alex LeDuc. The battle still between the 113 and the 104. As the 113 moves up on the outside, that 2nd place battle, very important in the season-long standings, as Marcel is trying to hold off the 104 of Lucas Desrochers. But back to your leader. How about this? Coming off the exit of turn number 2 to be the checker flag this time by your unofficial winner and a well-deserved one. We'll go to the 88 of Alex LeDuc. 2nd place, the 113, the 104. It'll go to the 113 by about a half a boat length. Over top of the 104. So Marcel Descoteaux will get 2nd. Lucas Desrochers will get 3rd. 4th will go to Benjamin Leger, and 5th will go to Alice Caron. And I said it earlier, but some of the best racing all weekend has been the young drivers in the Formula R class. They've done a great job. Alex LeDuc gets the victory here. But how about that battle between the 104 and the 113? The 113 is first season driving. It's Lucas's 2nd. They've done a great job, both of those 104 and 113 teams. All right, up next, as I said, a little bit of a schedule change. We're going to go to H350 Racing. So H350s are going to be coming out next. It'll include Grand Island's Eddie Campouche in Heat 3A. All right, Hydro 350 making their way out onto the race course. Hydro 350 qualifier 3A. 4 minutes, 35 seconds from the start. We should have 5 of them make the call for Heat 3A. Hydro 350s, 350 cubic inch motors, Chevy. Run on pump gasoline, speeds upwards of 120 miles an hour. Probably see them top out right around 115 here on the Niagara River. 4 minutes, 7 seconds to the start. Once they come around for the first time, we'll introduce them to you, as all 5 have made the call. Remember, with Hydro 350, they're all trying to get into that final a little bit later on today. As the rain just starts to come down on us here as soon as we set the boats out. I think we might be all right. There's a clearing over here to the left. We'll see what the officials decide to do. 3:30 from the start. Head official Steve Armstrong has gone up to talk to the spotters to see how the visibility is with the drivers out there. Looks like it's clearing over here. This little storm system just pushing through. Martin Lecomte comes by in the 104, the Unique Racing. Here comes Tom Hugadier in the 300. He drives the Pennzoil. We're going to be fighting these intermittent showers all day long, unfortunately, it looks like. 2 minutes, 30 seconds from the start. Here comes Michael LeBoeuf in the 155, the Zoomerang. Eddie Campu's driving the 999, the Black Beast. Eddie had a great day yesterday. He currently sits on top of the points ladder here for the weekend. If he can pick up another victory here, he can put himself directly into the final and not have to go through the semifinals. Frederick Coutier in the 14 comes by. So all 5 boats out on the race course. Minute 45 to the start, 145 away. H350 qualifier 3A. Here, the 2026 Thunder on the Niagara. Tom Hugadier back behind the wheel. For the first time in 8 years, driving that 300. The Pennzoil. So he'll have to start up on the outside. 1:15 from the start. As I said, the story here coming into today is Eddie Camfush driving the 999. He's substituting for Eric McKenna. Eric unfortunately ruptured his Achilles tendon prior to the season and has not been able to drive all year long. So Eddie has stepped up and he's taken over the wheel. And this weekend so far, he's a perfect 2 for 2. If he can win this heat from the outside, lane number 4, he will put himself right in the final and not have to go through the semifinals. So very important heat for that 999 team. Woo! Skies just opened up again. Inside 1 minute, 30 seconds to the start. Lane number 1 will be the 155, Michael LeBoeuf. Lane number 2 will be the 14 of Frederick Coutier. Lane number 3 will be the 104 of Mark Lecomte. Lane number 4 will be the 999 of Eddie Camfush. And on the outside, Tom Hugadier into 300 as we are 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, great start for Frederick Coutier. Fred will lead him across the start-finish line from lane number 2. Everybody got to hold their lanes all the way through the apex of 1, and that'll allow the boats on the inside to make up a lot of ground. And you can see the 155 Miguel LaBouffe using that inside lane to his advantage, and he'll head down the backstretch with the lead, but he's got boats right there on his outside, including the 14, the 999, right there as well as they go down the backstretch. It's Miguel LaBouffe with the lead in the 155, the Zoomerang down here in the turn number 2. Wow, takes a big hop, and that allows Frederick Coutier to move up on his outside. The Legacy 1, and here comes Camfouche. The 999 from lane number 4, having a great run. He'll come around and complete lap number 1. 3 of them side by side by side. Camfouche on the outside, Coutier in the middle, and LaBouffe on the inside, headed down here into turn number 1 on lap number 2. We'll go 5 times around here in Hydro 350 qualifier 3A. And it's the 14 of Frederick Coutier, the 155. Miguel LaBouffe battling out for the lead, but here comes Camfouche on the outside. There's still 3 boats tied together, side by side by side. 1.5 in, 3.5 to go here in qualifier 3A for the Hydro 350s. Camfouche, Coutier, LaBouffe, side by side through turn number 2. It's going to get tight. Great job by Fred holding on to his lane. 2 down and 3 to go. 3A in Hydro 350. Ratcheting up the pressure here as we head to the finals later on today. All 3 boats within a rooster tail of each other, and now Eddie Camfouche sticks his nose out in front from lane number 4. He'll head down the backstretch. He'll open it up by 3. Now 4 boat lengths, and the 999, the Black Beast, is 2.5 in and 2.5 to go. As we said, a very important heat for Eddie. If he can win this and be clean, he'll make it directly into the final. So he's got to hold enough room on his inside for those 2 other boats. And he does just that. So Camfouche and the 999 will come off the exit pit of turn number 2 to complete lap number 3. 3 down, 2 to go. Camfouche is your leader. Frederick Coutier runs in second. Miguel LaBouffe runs in third. Tom Huguenier runs in fourth. Martin Lecoq runs in fifth. Once again, they're down at turn number 1. 3 boats still tied together by a rooster tail here as we work lap number 4 of 5. And it's Eddie Camfouche now. He's opened it up. We'll call it 4 boat lengths over top of Frederick Coutier running in second and Miguel LaBouffe running in third. So down here into turn number 2. Eddie Camfouche in the 999. The Black Beast, he's substituting for Eric McKenna, will come off the exit pit at turn 2. Look for the white flag this time by. So 1 more circuit around the Niagara River for Eddie Camfouche, your leader. In the H99-9, the Black Beast. Frederick Coutier having a heck of a run in the 14. The Legacy 1. Miguel LaBouffe still holding on to third. 4th position is Tom Huguenier in 5th. Martin Lecoq down the backstretch here on the 5th and final lap. Eddie Camfouche picks up the right spots just a little bit that time. Chime walks the Black Beast down the backstretch. He'll be looking to qualify directly to the final if he's able to hold off Frederick Coutier. Fred's going to try one more time as they head down here to turn number 2. But from lane number 4, great start for the 999. Wow, Fred moved up really quick that time, but Eddie's going to be able to hold him off. At the line, it's going to be Eddie Camfouche by a boat length. Fred really tried hard to make up ground, but Eddie just does hold off the 14. So Camfouche wins 3A unofficially on the water. Frederick Coutier with a great run to run second. Miguel LaBouffe will run third. Tom Huguenier will run fourth. And the 104, Martin Lecoq will run fifth. If everything was clean, that should put Eddie directly in the final. We will wait and see, but how about that? Second weekend drive in H350, and Eddie Camfouche has got the Black Beast in the final. Coming up next, 3B.
Love hockey? Check out bet99.net.
All right, Heat 3B. 5-minute gun has sounded for Heat 3B. Should have 3 of them make the call. If you were with us last year in this exact qualifying heat, we had a dead heat between the two boats making their way out of the race course right now. The 23 and the 773 dead heated in their third qualifier last year. They'll go up against each other once again. This time roles will be reversed with Martin Richon being on the inside and the yellow torpedo being on the outside. So Rashad's out of the pits. Francis Cote is out of the pits. And here comes Tommy Shannon, the teal, Dog Nasty, also making his way out of the pit area. 4:05 to the start. Heat 3B. 3B will be followed by 3C, 3D, Formula R, 3B, and then Grand Prix 4A coming up in the next hour. So 3 minutes and 50 seconds to the start. 3B is on the water. First boat coming by your screen, or across the start-finish line here on your screen, if you're watching live on YouTube, is the 23, the yellow torpedo of Francis Cote. He'll be followed up by the 773 of Martin Rochon. Team RTX. RTX Will is the sponsor of the 773 out of Valleyfield, Quebec. And the final boat coming through turn 2 right now, the teal boat, the Dog Nasty of Tommy Shannon. The 306. Tommy had a heck of a start to the season, struggled a little bit in the midway point, but has looked really well here so far this weekend on the Niagara River. He came into the weekend 25 points down, I believe now. He's made up some ground on Nick Roos in the 225 in the season-long point standing. There right now, it's 4 points separating the 225 and the 306. So once again, a very important race. The top 3 in Hydro 350 only separated by 23 points coming into today. So very important heat for that 306 Dog Nasty team as they trailed Nick Roos by 4 points. We'll see Nick coming up in the next qualifier. So every heat matters in the Hydroplane Racing League, especially if you're gunning for that season-long point championship. And with 17 boats here in the H350 class, it's very important that you go out and you finish your heats. 1:45 to the start. .128 away. Hydro 350 qualifier 3B. Even though it's only 3 boats, these 3 boats are very competitive. This should be a highly contested race between all 3 of these boats. Once again, 350s, 350 cubic inch Chevys. Speeds upwards of 125 miles an hour. See them top out probably around 115, 120 today. They'll go 5 laps around. We're inside 1 minute. All right, with 41 seconds to the start. We'll get them lined up for you. 3 boats down into turn number 1 right now. The inside boat will be Martin Rochon in the 773. The RTX sponsored H773 will have lane number 1. Lane number 2 will be the 23, the Yellow Torpedo, Francis Cote. And on the outside, the all-teal boat, the 306 Dog Nasty of Tommy Shannon. 15 seconds from the start. H350 qualifier 3B is 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. Beautiful start by the 306 and the 773. Those 2 guys are right together as they head down here to turn number 1. Got to hold that lane for Francis Cote. Does the 306, so that's going to allow Martin Rochon to open up just a little bit over top of the 306 Dog Nasty, but Tommy Shannon's right there on his outside. 2 boats look like one as they go down the backstretch here on lap number 1, and here comes Tommy Shannon on the outside. Tommy Shannon and Martin Rochon side by side for the lead here in qualifier 3B. Tommy leaving plenty of room on the inside, and Rochon's going to use the inside lane to his advantage, move up on Tommy Shannon and come around and complete lap number 1. 1 down, 4 to go here in 350 qualifier 3B. It's Rochon and Shannon side by side with Francis Cote back here in 3rd position. Francis was just a little bit late at the start, and that's got him mired back in 3rd place. But down the backstretch, they're still tied together with Shannon on the outside and Rochon on the inside. Very important heat for that 306 team. They came into today 4 points behind the 225, so they're going to try to make up ground from lane number 3 here in qualifier 3B. Coming around to complete lap number 2 to be 2 down, 3 to go. Side by side dueling here in qualifier 3B. You can throw a blanket over the top of the 773 and the 306 as they head down here into turn number 1. As we work lap number 3 here in the 5-lap qualifier, Tommy Shannon accelerates off the exit of turn 1 and opens it up by 3 boat lengths. Martin Rochon back to 2nd, Francis Cote in 3rd. So Tommy Shannon sets sail down the backstretch. We'll call it a 4 boat length advantage now as we're halfway through qualifier 3B. And it's Tommy Shannon in the 306, the Dog Nasty, your leader through the apex of turn number 2 to come around and complete lap 3. It'll be 3 down, 2 to go this time by. Absolute perfect water conditions here at Thunder on the Niagara. You can't get much better than this on this tough course here in North Tonawanda, but Tommy Shannon laid out a great lap as he comes through the apex of turn number 1 on lap number 4. Shannon leads. Rochon still running in 2nd. Cote runs in 3rd. So 3.5 in, 1.5 more laps to go as Tommy Shannon's opened up by a full rooster tail over top of Martin Rochon running back in 2nd. Down here to turn number 2 as he worked lap number 4 of 5. And as Tommy Shannon through the apex of turn number 2. Martin Rochon will try to move up on his inside, but it'll come around and complete lap number 4. White flag being displayed. 1 more lap around for Tommy Shannon. As we said before the race started, a very important heat 3B for Tommy Shannon as he's trying to make up ground on the points leader, Nick Roos. As he comes through the apex of turn number 1, a comfortable advantage for Shannon as he heads down the backstretch here on lap number 5 of 5. So Tommy Shannon now opening it up by about 2 to 3 rooster tails. Martin Rochon backed off. He's going to take this 2nd place points. And as he comes off the exit of turn number 2, Tommy Shannon, the 306, the Dog Nasty, your unofficial winner of Heat 3B. 2nd position, good run for Martin Rochon. He'll get 2nd in the 773. And 3rd position will go to Francis Cote, the 23, the Yellow Torpedo. If you want to understand everything about the point standings, you can just download that HRL app. Just go into the Google Play or the Play Store, wherever you get your apps. You can download the Hydroplane Racing League app. It tells you everything you need to know, not just from today and yesterday, but throughout the season. That's how I keep updated on the points throughout the weekend. So right now, Tommy Shannon will get 25 points for this victory. That'll catapult him into the lead in the overall point standing. But Nick Roos is coming back in the next heat, 3C, to try to match it. So if Nick is able to pick up the victory, he'll retake the points lead for the season. If he gets a second place, they'll be tied. So very interesting heat coming up. 3C, Hydro 350. All right, boats making their way out for heat 3C, making their way out onto the race course. Should have 4 of them make the call. 1, 2, 3, 4, all 4 out. As we said yesterday, if you've been following along with the Hydro 350, they do it a little bit different to make the final than the other classes. The top point getter for the weekend, who right now is Eddie Camfush, and I don't think anybody can catch him. Eddie's 3 for 3. He's got 75 points. He'll automatically transfer to the final. Everybody else, the next 12 boats out of the 17 that are here, will have to go through 2 6-boat semifinals. And the top 3 finishers of those semifinals will make it in to the 7-boat final. So 17 boats started the weekend, and we will end with 7 in the H350 final. 3 minutes, 30 seconds from the start. First boat, Mark Lalonde in the 751. The Lalo Racing. It'll be followed up by Kent Henderson in the 519, the bank on it out of Brockville, Ontario. The 225, Nick Roos. Nick had a tough day yesterday, a second place finish, and then he got a disqualification in his second qualifier yesterday. So a tough day for Nick Roos. And the 666, the Carpet Tech, looked like they had a starter issue yesterday. They were unable to get out in their second qualifier, so a starter issue. But they got her fixed, and they're back out here. Updates from Seattle for our friends watching on the live stream. Andrew Tate won Heat 2A, and 2B was won by Dylan Runny in the 40. So they've already run both of their qualifiers out in Seattle, the H1 Unlimited Series. 2 minutes, 26 seconds to the start, 2:20 for Heat 3C. After 3C, then we'll go to 3D. That'll be the final H350 qualifier. And then we'll have Formula R, their final qualifier of the weekend, Heat 3B. Then Grand Prix's final qualifier, Heat 4A. So we're getting down to it with the qualifiers. So after these next 4 heats, we'll be completed all qualification heats. And then we'll get into the semifinals and the finals. So we're working our way through day number 2 of the 2026 Thunder on the Niagara. We are 1 minute 45 seconds for the start. Of Heat 3C. Our Formula F final is set. Eddie Camfush, the top point getter in the Formula F class. He will have lane number 1 in that final. Once we get more finals set, we'll let you know. And as I said, you can download that HRL app, Hydroplane Racing League. Type that into your Play Store or Google Play, however you get your apps. You can download it there, and you can stay up to date with everything going on with the league, as this is stop 5 of 6 on the circuit. 1 minute away from the start, 1 minute, Heat 3C. All right, 45 seconds to the start. As they come through turn number 1, we'll get them lined up for you. Here for Heat 3C, the 225 of Nick Roos, he'll be in lane number 1. Lane number 2 will be Dan Leger, the 666, the yellow and black boat, the Carpentech, he'll be in lane 2. Lane 3 will be the 751. The white and purple boat, Mark Lalonde, he'll be in lane number 3. Lane 4 on the outside, having a good weekend, will be the 519, Kent Henderson. And the bank on it, sponsored by Team Toban. 13 seconds to the start. H350 qualifier 3C is 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, great start from Mark Lalonde. The 751 from lane number 3. Breaks the line first, he'll lead him down here to turn number 1. So Lalonde in lane number 3, but he's got company on his inside. The 225 of Nick Roos. Hugging the buoy rail, and Danny Leger is stuck in the middle. So Nick Roos and Mark Lalonde are side by side. Danny Leger stuck right in the tunnel there. Kent Henderson back and forth. Down into turn number 2. Here on lap number 1. Lalonde is your leader. Nick Roos on the buoy rail. Danny Leger stuck in the middle. They'll come around and complete lap number 1, and Nick Roos will use that inside and shorter way to his advantage. He'll lead lap number 1. 1 down, 4 to go here in Hydro 350 qualifier 3C. Nick Roos is your leader with Mark Lalonde right there on his outside. Daniel Leger running in 3rd. Kent Henderson running back in 4th position. Nick Roos came into the weekend with over 25-point advantage over top of Tommy Shannon. He lost that advantage yesterday. Looking to regain it here in qualifier 3C as he heads down into turn number 2. Roos and the Roos Motorsports leads through the apex of turn number 2, but right on his outside is Lalonde. And there is Mark right there. So only about 3 boat lengths separate 1st and 2nd as they come off the exit of 2 to complete lap 2. So 2 down, 3 to go here at 3C. Roos leads. Lalonde runs in second. Danny Leger runs in third. Kent Henderson back in fourth. Through the apex of turn number 1 here on lap number 3. We're halfway through qualifier 3C, and it's Nicholas Roos. The 225 Roos Motorsports, as we talked about yesterday, took a couple seasons off. Went and did some car racing. Found himself back in inboard hydroplane racing this season. Having a really good 2026 campaign. He'll come off the exit pit of turn number 2 to complete lap number 3. 3 down, 2 to go. Oh, there it goes. What on? 3 down, 2 to go here for the 225. The 751 still running in second. Danny Leger in third. And the 519, Ken Henderson still running in fourth. So everybody pretty evenly spread out here as we're 3.5 in. 1.5 to go. For Nicholas Roos. 2 full Roos and tail advantage as he comes through turn number 2 with a comfortable lead over top of Mark Lalonde. So 4 down, 1 to go here in qualifier 3C. And Nick Roos looking to regain the season-long point lead as he comes across start-finish line. Lalonde runs in second. Leger in third, and Henderson in fourth. So through the apex of 1 here on the 5th and final lap, Nicholas Roos will come through the apex with a comfortable advantage over top of Mark Lalonde. So half a lap away for the 225 to pick up the 25 points and a victory here at 3C. He'll tiptoe through turn number 2, come around and get the checker flag this time by. And Nick Roos out of Valleyfield, Quebec will come off the exit of 2. He'll be the checker flag this time by. Your winner of Heat 3C, Nicolas Roos. Second will go to the 751, Lolo Racing and Mark Lalonde. Third place, Danny Leger in the 666. The Carpet Tech will come around and get third. Kent Henderson in the bank on it. The 519 will come around and get fourth. Up next, our final qualifier of the weekend for H350 qualifier 3D coming up next. right, Heat 3D making their way out onto the race course for their final H350 qualifier of the weekend. Four minutes to the start. Should have four of them make their way out. It looks like we got all four out on the race course. As we're going to try to get these last qualifiers in. So everybody's gotten all their qualification heats in. Coming up after 3D, we'll run Formula R 3B, then GP 4A. And that'll do it for the qualification heats. First boat coming by, the all-yellow boat, the 48, driven by Donald LeDuc, the Cannonball. He's followed by Matthew Brown in the 74. Jacob Haydu in the 2, the red, white, and blue boat on the inside of the Bullhorn Quebec, and on his outside, Bert Henderson driving the H8. The last minute again, all four boats have made the call. 3 minutes, 9 seconds. 3:09 to the start. Heat 3D for Hydro 350. Those that are watching on the live stream, thank you so much for tuning in today. It's a beautiful day for racing. We've been in and out of clouds and rain, but when the rain doesn't come, the water conditions are perfect. It's literally raining right off to our west, and once it just kind of it's flowing right up. It's probably raining in Niagara Falls right now. It's just not raining here, so we're getting lucky. About 7 miles away, there's some storms, but right here we're doing all right. Matthew Brown coming by in the 74. Here comes the 48 of Donald LeDuc. The 2, Jacob Haydu. Talked about him a little bit yesterday, having a great 2026, his first full-time season in H350. He comes by in the Miss Bullhorn. Here comes Bert Henderson in the H8 last minute again. They tore the sponson off that boat in Brockville, got it fixed up for Valleyfield. Having a better weekend here today. Having a better weekend here this weekend, I should say. 1:55 to the start, 1:55 away. H350 final qualifier. As soon as this qualifier is over, they'll put all the points into the computer. It'll tabulate it. We'll put that top point getter into the final, which by my calculations would be Eddie Canfouche, but directly in the final. Everybody else, the next 12 in the standings will go through 2 6-boat semifinals to determine the other 6 boats that'll make it into the final. Jacob Haydu coming on a last-minute timing run down here to start-finish line. And now Jacob's going to either have to go all the way down hard and cut the race course or just back out of it and putt-putt like the 48 and the 74 are. Here comes Bert Henderson on another timing run. So everybody seems to be all right, ready to go, in a perfect spot on the race course. 54 seconds from the start. $35 seconds to the start. Everybody getting lined up on the backstretch. We'll line it up for you. The 48 Cannonball, Donald LeDuc, will be in lane number 1. Lane number 2 will be the 74 Matthew Brown. Lane number 3 will be the 2 of Jacob Haydu, the red, white, and blue boat. And on his outside will be Bert Henderson in the H8, the last minute again, out of Brockville, Ontario. We're 16 seconds from the start. H350 final qualifier of the weekend. Heat 3D. They're all lined up really good as they are 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. Beautiful start for Matthew Brown. He'll break the line first in the 74. Now he's got to hold off everybody to his outside. So all 4 boats head down into turn number 1. They'll hold their lane all the way through the apex. And it'll be Matthew Brown with a great turn from lane number 2. He is your leader, but watch to his outside. You got the 2 right there. Jacob Haydu is right there, and so is Bert Henderson. 3 boats within a reason of each other with Donald LeDuc back in 4th position as they head down the backstretch here on lap number 1. We go 5 times around here in qualifier 3D. And Matthew Brown is your leader. Haydu right on his outside, and Henderson is out there as well. 3 boats within a reason of each other as they come around and complete lap number 1. 1 down, 4 to go. Matthew Brown having a heck of a drive from lane number 2, and that's 74. Best I've seen that boat run in a long time. He looks really good heading down here to turn number 1 on lap number 2. So Brown is your leader with Haynu right there on his outside. Wow, Jacob got in the tail a little bit and had to get out of it. And you see Jacob is slow off the exit of 1. That's going to allow Henderson to move up on his outside. Now Jacob gets it fired back up, and he's flying out in about lane number 3. So Haynu leads. I'm sorry, Matthew Brown leads. Haynu runs in second, and Henderson runs in third. LeDuc runs in fourth. So through turn number 2 here on lap number 2. Matthew Brown, the 74, is your leader. Second position is Jacob Haynu in the H2. Bert Henderson in the 8 runs in third position. Donald LeDuc moves up on his inside in fourth. As we work lap number 3 of 5, it's Matthew Brown in the 74, your leader. Jacob Haynu still running in second. Battle for third between Henderson on the outside and LeDuc on the inside. Matthew Brown running really well. The best I've seen this boat run in a long time. The 74 looking really good down the backstretch. As he comes to the apex of turn number 2, 2 full rooster tail advantage for Matthew Brown. He'll come around a complete lap number 3. 3 down and 2 to go. Brown leads. Haynu runs in second. LeDuc and Henderson tied together for third as they complete lap number 3. Brown down into turn number 1. The driver out of Valleyfield still holding on to the lead. Rooster tail and a half lead right now for Thomas Jacob Haynu running back in second position. Here on lap number 4 of 5. Down into turn number 2. Here on lap number 4. Matthew Brown by 2 rooster tails as the rain starts to pick up right here in the middle of this qualifier 3D. Brown will come around a complete lap 4. White flag being displayed one more lap around. Matthew Brown in the H74. What a victory this would be for that young driver out of Valleyfield. He stepped up from Formula F last season, his first full-time season in H350, and he's looking to get his first ever heat victory here in Heat 3D. He'll come through the apex of turn number 1. 2 full rooster tail advantage over top of Jacob Haynu running back in second. Henderson and LeDuc still battling it out for third. But how about a story this is? 2-year leader down into turn number 2 for the last time. Matthew Brown will bring the 74 through the apex of turn number 2. He'll get a heat victory for the first time in H350. Your winner of 3D, Matthew Brown. Second will go to Jacob Haynu. Third will go to Bert Henderson. Fourth will go to Donald LeDuc. Congratulations to that 74 team. I know they've worked hard on that boat. It pays off with a victory here in 3D.
Love hockey? Check out bet99.net.
All right, for our friends watching live on YouTube, we are getting ready to go back racing here. We have been fighting the thunderstorms all day long. That was a bad, nasty one that just came through here a few minutes ago. So that has left the area. We have our Formula R boats being lowered into the water. We're going to rerun, not rerun, but we're going to run their third qualifying. And then we'll end the qualification heats with GP Heat 4A. So those will be coming up here in just a few minutes. So thanks for sticking with us as we have Heat 3B getting ready to come out on the water for Formula R. All right, here we go. Inside the countdown to Heat 3B. All right, 5-minute gun has sounded. Heat 3B, Formula R, their final qualification heat of the weekend. Formula R is the young and up-and-coming drivers. And to be honest, they put on some of the best racing so far here this weekend. We've had some great battles in the Formula R class, as we expect 6 boats to make their way out onto the race course. Everybody making their way out. 4 minutes and 11 seconds to the start. All right, 4 minutes to the start. Heat 3B, final qualifier of the weekend for Formula R. And all 6 have made the call. We'll have an 8-boat final a little bit later on. Hopefully a little bit later on today. First boat coming across start finish line, the orange and black boat, the 86, the JPGA. The boat way on the outside, the red and white Senseless Racing, Aiden Sovey in the R50. To his inside, the 91, driven by Remy Bovelin. The 817, Formax Racing. Francis Suave. The 11, Totally Chaotic, Garrett Huff. And the 910, Justin L'Esperance into Hope Racing, making his way through turn number 2 down here to start finish line. So all 6 boats are out and on the race course. As we look over towards the pit area, we should see our Grand Prix hydroplanes making their way into the Niagara River for their final qualifier, Heat 4A, coming up right after 3B for Formula R. So we should see our Grand Prix hydros being lowered into the water. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to the start. Formula R, Heat 3B at the 2026 Thunder on the Niagara. Thank you all for sticking with us today. I know it's been touch and go. We were supposed to start at 10 o'clock. We had a torrential downpour, delayed our start. We got a bunch of racing in. We ran, by my count, 8 heats of racing before we had another torrential downpour and a tornado warning storm, actually, that we all took cover from. And now that the skies have cleared just a little bit, we're going to try to get in as much as we possibly can over the next couple hours. Final qualifiers for 3B here for Formula R, and then the final qualifier for Grand Prix 4A. If you look over to the cranes, you can see our big Grand Prix boats being lowered in. We'll have 4 of them in GP 4A. But we are a minute and 30 seconds from the start. Formula R 3B. One minute, 20 seconds to the start. Formula R runs a Honda K20 engine or a Ford 2300. They can produce speeds up to 100 miles an hour. Probably see them top out around 95 on the course here, but I'm telling you, I've been coming to North Tonawanda for a number of years, and these is the best water conditions I've seen on a Sunday that I've ever experienced here in North Tonawanda. So great racing conditions for the Formula R class. We're 45 seconds from the start as they get lined up on the backstretch in their predetermined lanes. The 910 of Justin L'Esperance will have lane number 1. The 11, Garrett Huff, will have lane number 2. Lane 3 will be the 86 of JPGA. Lane number 4 will be the 91 of Remy Bovelin. Lane 5 will be the 817 Formax Racing of Francis Suave. And on the outside will be the 50. Oh, got a boat over. Red flag on the race course. Contact between the 11 and the 9-10. And it looks like Justin is out of the 9-10, which is a good sign. He's up on the deck. But it looks like as they were coming around to the start, the 9-10 just went right over top the 11 there. So red flag on the race course. So as they were coming to the start, it looks like the 9-10 just crawled right over the back of the 11 and went in. We'll have to get a drone shot to determine any calls in that heat. But I did see Justin Lasprez get out of the boat, stand on the back of the boat, and is now in the rescue boat, which is always a good thing. You see his boat upside down, so we'll have to get that boat on a tow rope and back to the pit area. All right, so we're still in red flag conditions. Garrett Huff is a little bit shaken up in the 11. He just did get out of the boat, and he is currently on the rescue sled. So we'll bring Garrett in. Justin Lasprez has already been brought back to the pit area, so he's okay. Not sure what took place there. Obviously, somebody's lane went away, and they were trying to get inside there to determine their starting spot. And the lane just wasn't there, and the 9-10, to me, it looked like he just went over top of the 11. So good news is both drivers seem to be okay. Garrett was a little shaken up, but word from the rescue team is he's all right. They'll bring him back to the pit area. And as soon as the officials determine it's safe to do so, we'll go alpha red flag conditions, but they will determine that. So just so everybody knows, we are still got Garrett Huff on the rescue sled. We'll get him back into the pit area. Both boats are now being hooked up. The 910 has gotten hooked up to one of the tow boats. We'll get him towed back in. Obviously, somebody's lane went away there, and we're trying. They'll determine that once we get off the red flag. We're still in the red flag condition right now. That's why we see everybody still afloat. So as soon as we get All right, black flag being displayed on the race course so the drivers can start their boats back up and bring them into the pit area. So when we're on black flag conditions, you'll see everybody put their lids down and fire back up and get back into the pit area. Obviously not the way we wanted to start 3B there, but luckily it looks like both drivers are going to be okay. Could be some damage on the 11 and the 910. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, we'll sit out. The judges will make their decision. It looks like our Grand Prix are in for Heat 4A. And as soon as we know everybody's okay, we'll go running either the rerun of 3B or 4A for Grand Prix Hydro. All right, so both Justin and Garrett have been brought back to the pit area. They'll be checked out by medical. We're going to get a tow rope on Garrett's boat and bring that boat back to the pit area. So as soon as we are able to do that, we should be good to go with Grand Prix qualifier 4A. And then we'll probably rerun 3B after that. So thank you everybody for sticking with us, our fans on the live stream as well. It's been a tumultuous day here, up and down. As I said a little bit ago, we started at 10 a.m. and the downpour for 45 minutes. We went racing by 11, got 8 good heats in, knocked out a lot of qualifiers. And now we're just waiting to try to get at least these next 2 qualifiers in. At least want to do the rerun of 3B and then GP 4A. If we're able to do that, then everybody will have the exact amount of qualification heats. We want to make sure that there's no advantage or disadvantage because of the weather. So we try to make sure that everybody gets the same number of heats in for the weekend, and then we'll decide after that whether we want to go right to the finals or what they want to do, depending on the weather. We just never know here in North Tonawanda. It looks like it's raining right down the road, and it'll come and rain here. Right now it's kind of clear around us, but who knows where the storms are and where they're going to pop up. So just stand by. We'll come back with a little bit more information once we have it. All right, Grand Prix Heat 4A coming out on the water for you here. Their final qualification heat of the weekend. Should have 4 of them make the call. Grand Prix 468 cubic inch blown alcohol motors. They run on methanol, speeds upwards of 160 miles an hour. Boats will come out onto the race course for Heat 4A. .101 of Gislain Marcoux was scheduled to be in this heat, but I don't see him. Wow, I just saw Steve Armstrong's boat come by. That left spots and took a hit. It'll take some work to get that boat fixed up. All right, Grand Prix Hydro's out for qualifier 4A. Final qualification of the weekend for the Grand Prix Hydros. It looks like, unfortunately, the 101 not going to be able to go. So it'll be the 212 first boat coming by, Eric Langevin. And the 212, the Silco Racing. They'll be followed up by Ken Brody in the GP50, the Freedom. And the 71, the Wild One, Northeast Machine Incorporated sponsors. The 71, the Wild One, and Bert Henderson out of Brockville, Ontario is the driver. So 3 boats make the call here for 4A for Grand Prix, their final qualification heat of the weekend. We are 2 minutes and 56 seconds from the start. .223 from the start. All guys coming through on time and runs down here to start finish line. 2:18 away. Grand Prix qualifier 4A as it continues to rain here in North Tonawanda, unfortunately. Mother Nature is trying to win the day here, but we're not going to let it stop us from trying to get these qualification heats in. This is the 4th and final qualifier with the round-robin format that the Grand Prix Hydros ran this weekend. Everybody gets an opportunity to run 3 times. So far, Kent Henderson, who's already run his 3 qualifiers, won all 3 of them. So he's sitting pretty if we happen to run a final later on to be in that inside lane. There goes Ken Brody going by in the 50. 1 minute, 30 seconds from the start, 1:30 away. Grand Prix Hydro qualifier 4A. After this, we'll do that rerun of 3B for the Formula R class. Obviously, we know we're going to be down 2 boats in that class. Unfortunately, with the contact between the 910 and the 11. 1 minute, 10 seconds to the start. Grand Prix qualifier 4A. Inside 1 minute, down to 45 seconds. Lane number 1 will be the 50, Ken Brody, the local driver out of Grand Island, representing GP50. I know he's got a lot of friends here and family. Good luck to Ken back behind the wheel of the GP50 this weekend. The Freedom will have lane number 1. Lane number 2 will be the 71, the Wild One. The returning Bert Henderson returns to the seat of a Grand Prix Hydro. He drives for Huey Newport out of Cincinnati, Ohio. I know he's got a lot of friends and family here as well. And on the outside will be the 212, the Silco Racing. All right, here we go. 4A is 15 seconds away. They are up really early. Already through turn number 2 as they are 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, we're going clean from here. Eric Langevin will lead them. Now they'll get on as they head down here to turn number 1. We'll go 4 times around here in GP qualifier 4A, and it's Bert Henderson off the exit pin of 1. Bert Henderson with the lead. Eric Langevin back in second. Ken Brody back in third as they head down here into turn number 2 on lap number 104. Bert Henderson out of Brockville, Ontario, drives the Wildwood through turn number 2, out and about lane number 2. He'll come around and complete lap 1, 1 down, 3 to go for the 71 team. Northeast Machine presents the GP 71, the Wildwood. Eric Langevin right on the rev limiter, running in second in the Silco Racing 212. And Ken Brody runs back in third position here on lap number 2. Down the backstretch, almost a half a rooster tail advantage for Bert Henderson as he heads down into turn 1 here on lap 2 of 4. Henderson through the apex of turn number 2 like he never left. It's been a few years he's been in a Grand Prix Hydro, but he's doing a tremendous job here in North Tonawanda. 2 down and 2 to go. The GP 71 and Bert Henderson. The 212 and Eric Langevin still holding on to second position, trying to cut into that lead from the 71 to 50 of Ken Brody, having some issues back here in third position. A 2.5 in, 1.5 to go here in GP qualifier 4A. Bert Henderson has the lead. Langevin not giving up yet though, as Langevin is really flying hard down into turn number 2. A rooster tail separates the top 2 as we come around and complete lap number 3. 3 down, 1 to go. White flag being displayed. Henderson time walks it just a little bit across the start finish line. Really pedaling that 71. He is slow down into turn number 1, and here comes Langevin on the inside. Eric Langevin made up a lot of ground that time. It's within a half a rooster tail as the top 2 set down the backstretch for the 4th and final time. Henderson on the outside, and here comes Langevin on the inside. Eric Langevin is going to make a race of it as they head down here to turn number 2. Henderson's still your leader, but here comes Langevin. The 2-1-2 still going to race. He's got the inside lane, but Bert Henderson's got the outside and the speed. And Bert Henderson will take the victory in Fort A. Good run for Eric Langevin. He'll take second in 4A. And if Ken Brody can bring the 50 around, he'll get third place points, as the rain just does not seem to want to let us do anything today, as it is raining hard now here at the end of qualifier 4A for the Grand Prix Hydros. Great run for the 71 team. I know everybody underneath that 10 over there has got to be happy with Bert Henderson getting the victory in the GP 71, the wild one. Brody going to bring the 50 across our finish line, and he'll get those third place points. All right, we will wait and see. Black flag displayed on the race course. Send the boats back to the pit area. We do have our Formula R boats in the water ready to go for the rerun of 3B. And if we're able to get that 3B completed, we'll have all our qualification heats done. It's been a tumultuous day here in North Tonawanda. We thank you all for coming out and sticking with us in between the raindrops, as there are torrential storms all around us, and it just seems like every once in a while one wants to dump on us here. But got in Grand Prix 4A. We're going to try to get in Formula R 3B coming up next. We're going to try to do this thing, try to get this Heat 3B in. We should have 4 boats make the call. Unfortunately, we know that the 11 and the 910 won't be in this qualifier. So we'll wait for a decision on the remainder of the racing program. But right now, we're determined to get 3B in for the Formula R class. And then we will see. All right, boats out on the race course. 3 minutes, 45 seconds to the start. 3:45 away. Rerun of Formula R Heat 3B. As I've been saying, this weekend, the Formula R class has been some of the best racing we've seen. First boat coming by, that's the 86 of JPGA. The 91 coming by, Remy Beaumoulin. The 817 of Francis Suave in the Formax Racing. And the 50, Aiden Sovey out of Ogdensburg. And the Senseless Racing R50. So those are the 4 boats for the rerun of 3B here at the 2026 Thunder on the Niagara. Don't forget, grab yourself an ice cold beer from the beer tent. Those guys are still there. They're still drinking. They're having the best time of anybody in this rain. So go stop in there and grab yourself an ice cold beer. Two minutes, 40 seconds to the start, 2:40 away. Formula R, Heat 3B. JPGA coming by, Remy Beaumoulin. Here comes Francis Suave and the Formax Racing, the 817. Aiden Sovey. If you were with us yesterday, Aiden had a heck of a run in that 50. Did a great job. Almost blew the boat over, but kept it right side up. And he was battling it out with Ben Leger yesterday. Those 2 young drivers put on a heck of a show yesterday afternoon. 2 minutes to the start. Here comes Remy Beaumoulin coming by. Remy been in the Formula R class for a couple years now, doing a good job, just getting better and better every time he goes out. If they can get that engine program right, Remy's going to be right up there with the leaders in this class. Francis Suave and the 817 Formax Racing team, they've been the one to beat all season long. Unfortunately, in Valleyfield, they were determined not to be legal in their motor, and they were disqualified after winning the Formula R final. So they lost a ton of points. They lose all those points after being disqualified, the inspector, during the inspection process. So they're trying to claw back into this points race as well. Inside 1 minute to the start, 50 seconds. Formula R qualifier 3B. Inside lane number 1 will be the 86 of JPGA, as they all move over now with the 9, 10, and the 11 not in this heat. So the 86 of JPGA will go inside lane number 1. The 91 of Remy Beaumoulin will be in lane number 2. Lane 3 will be the 817 Formax Racing. And on the outside, Aiden Sovey in the 50. The Senseless Racing 16 will be on the outside here for Heat 3B. 13 seconds to the start. Final qualifier of the weekend. Formula R Heat 3B is 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, it's a super clean start, as we like to say, and JPGA will lead him across start-finish line. So the 86 will lead him down here to turn number 1. Everybody got to hold their lane all the way through the apex of 1, and it's the 86 and JPGA, your leader. On the inside, on the outside of him is the 817 Formax Racing. Here comes Aiden Sovey from lane number 4, trying to make up ground, but it is Francis Suave and JP Guillet running side by side for the lead here on lap number 105. The 817, your leader on the outside. JP Guillet going to try to make up ground as they head down here to turn number 2 with Aiden Sobey flying really hard out and about lane number 4. They'll come around and complete lap number 1 to be 1 down and 4 to go here in good
86.
Oh, all right, just getting word that the 86 jumped the gun. So the 817 Formax Racing is your leader. So that puts Aiden Sobey up into second. So your battle for the lead is actually not really a battle for the lead, as the 86 has been called for jumping the start. So the 817 Formax Racing will lead them down the backstretch with a comfortable advantage of 2 to 3 Rooster Tails over top of Aiden Sobey, running back in second here on lap number 2 of 5. So the Formax Racing 817 will come through the apex. Turn number 2. JP Guillet went inside the race course. Missed that buoy and had to go back around and pick it up. So Francis Suave is your leader across start-finish line. Aiden Sobey runs in second. Remy Bubblein runs in third. A lot of action going on here in 3B as we begin lap number 3 of 5. So the Formax Racing team leads by 2 full Rooster Tails over top of Aiden Sobey running back in second, and Remy Bubblein running in third. We'll see if Aiden can make up any ground on the leader. But we're 2.5 in and 2.5 to go, and it's all the 817 Formax Racing as they head down into turn number 2 with a comfortable advantage over top of Aiden Sobey running back in second, and Remy Bubblein running in third. So through turn number 2 to come around and complete lap number 3. It'll be 3 down, 2 to go here in Formula R Qualifier 3B. Good news is we complete this lap, which we just did. It is official. We won't have to rerun this heat if we try to get this heat in all day long. So Francis Suave leads him down into turn number 1 here on lap number 4. Aiden Sobey still runs in second. Remy Bubblein runs in third. So it's all Francis Suave and the Formax Racing team off the apex of turn number 1. He'll head down the backstretch here as we work lap 4. And the 817 Formax Racing has got a nice almost 3 Rooster Tail advantage over top of Aiden Sobey running back in second. So down to turn number 2 here on lap number 4 of 5. The 817 Formax Racing running through these beautiful water conditions. I can tell you the storms are all around us, but the water conditions are excellent here in North Tonawanda. So 4 down and 1 more lap to go. 1 lap to go for the 817 Formax Racing. Here comes Aiden Sobey in second position. Third place is Remy Bubblein, and fourth, JP Guillet, who had that unfortunate mishap in turn number 2 on lap number 2. So down the backstretch for the 5th and final time. It's been the Formax Racing team from the get-go. And Francis Suave will head down into turn number 2, taking it nice and easy. Spotters let him know he's got plenty of space behind him in front of Aiden. So no issues here with the 817. He'll come off the exit pit at turn number 2. It'll be the checker flag this time by. And your winner of 3B for the Formula R will go to the 817, the Formax Racing. Aiden Sobey will come around. He'll get second. And third position will go to Remy Bubblein in the 91. All right, we'll see what the officials want to do here, as that'll wrap up all the qualifying heats here in North Tonawanda. All the qualifiers are completed. We'll turn it over to the officials, and we will give you word of what's going to happen when we know you will know. Start to go out. Good. All right, as I said, we will let you know what happens here now as the qualification heats are complete. We are dancing through the raindrops here in North Tonawanda. But I can tell you, I've been here many times, and the water conditions for racing are perfect. It's what we want to see, but unfortunately, Mother Nature in this rain just won't let up on us. So we'll talk to the officials. We'll give you word on what's going to happen, and we will let you know when we know. All right, we're going to go into the semifinals for Hydro 350. 7 boats in each semifinal. All right, 5-minute gun has sounded. First semifinal, semifinal A, Hydro 350. 7 boats vying for the top 3 positions. Think of this as your dirt track racing. The top 3 will qualify for the final. Everybody else will go on the trailer. Semifinal A making their way out. We should experience 7 boats on the water here on the Niagara for the first time this weekend. The only boat that doesn't have to go through the semifinals is the 999 Eddie Camfu. She's automatically qualified for the final. Everybody else going to have to work their way through these 2 semifinals. We'll run semifinal A here first, come back with semifinal B, and then we'll get into our finals. It'll be the Formula F final, the H final, the R final, and the GP final. So we got 6 heats left today. We're going to do the best we can. The water conditions are the best I've ever seen in North Tonawanda. So we're going to try to run as much as we can as long as this rain doesn't get too hard or heavy. We should be okay. Once again, the top 3 will transfer. Everybody else will go home. First boat, Jacob Haynu in the H2, the Miss Beauharnois. The Novo Racing out of Beauharnois, Quebec, Canada. Boat on the inside, the 519, the bank on it, Kent Henderson out of Brockville, Ontario. The boat to the outside, the 48, the all-yellow boat, Donald LeDuc. The 306, the teal boat, Tommy Shandy. You can hardly see him hidden in that white water. Coming across start-finish line, Mark LeCompton, the 104. The all-blue boat, the Unique Racing, the 104, coming across start-finish line. Back behind him, the 2 boats coming off of turn number 2 right now, Daniel Leger and the 666, the Carbon Deck. And the 225, Nick Roos in the Roos Motorsports. We are 2:59 from the start, just inside 3 minutes to the start. H350 semifinal A here in the 2026 Thunder on the Niagara. The HRL team decided to go to this semifinal format here in 2026. There used to be consolation heats where you had to win the consi to get in lane number 7. Now they've decided the only person that makes it into the final is the top point getter. Everybody else got to work their way through the semifinals. The top 3, so you're going to be looking for not only first place in this heat, but you're going to be looking at that battle for second, and especially that battle for third, because that will be the transfer to the final. 2:10 to the start. 2:10 away. Danny Leger comes across start-finish line. Here comes Nick Roos flying way up on the outside. He's going to have to start out in lane number 5. So he's doing his timing run from lane number 5. Jacob Haynu coming across start-finish line. He'll be in lane 2 here for the semifinal. We're 1 minute, 35 seconds to the start. 1:35 away. H350 semifinal A. Hats off to this team here in North Tonawanda. Everybody involved. We're trying to get as much racing in as we can for you today. Our friends watching back on the live stream as well. Hope you're enjoying it. Our friends are out in Seattle racing at the Seattle Seafair. Hope you're tuning in. This is where it's going to get interesting here in the Hydroplane Racing League. Semifinal A, H350. We had 17 boats to start the weekend. We're down. We're going to cut it down to the top 7. One minute to the start. 4 laps, yep. We're only going to go 4 laps around here in the semifinals. Lane number 1 will be the 306, the Dog Nasty Tommy Shannon. He'll have the inside lane number 1. Lane number 2 will be the 2 is Jacob Haynu. The red, white, and blue boat out of Beauharnois, Quebec. Lane 3 will be the 519, the bank on it. Kent Henderson out of Brockville, Ontario will be in lane 3. Lane 4 will be the 104. Mark LeCompton in the Unique Racing. To his outside will be the 225, Nick Roos, the green and white boat. The 666 of Daniel Leger will be in lane number 6. And on the outside, lane number 7, we're going to go 7 abreast here, will be the 48 of Donald LeDuc and the Cannonball. They're up just a touch early, and now they'll really start to accelerate as they are 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, looks like a clean start for me, and Kent Henderson will break the line first. Henderson will lead him down here to turn number 1. Everybody got to hold their lane, all 7 wide, all the way through the apex of 1. And on the inside, it's the 306, the Dog Nasty, and Tommy Shannon, your leader. Got a wall of boats behind him as they come off the exit pin. So Shannon leads. Haynu's right there is outside. Remember, we're looking for the top 3 to transfer into the final. Tommy Shannon, your leader. Jacob Haynu running right there with him. And Kent Henderson having a great run back in 3rd position in the 519 to bank on it. As they head down here into turn number 2, Tommy Shannon uses that inside and shorter way around to his advantage. He'll come around and complete lap 1. 1 down. 3 to go. Now watch this battle between the 519 and the 225. That's where we got to keep our eyes peeled to, because that's the transfer spot to the final. So Shannon and Haydu are checked out on the field, but that battle for 3rd between the 519 and the 225 will determine the final boat into the final. So down the backstretch they go here on lap number 2. Remember, we only go 4 times around here in the semifinals. Tommy Shannon leads. Jacob Haydu runs in 2nd. Kent Henderson still holding off Nicholas Roos for 3rd as they head down here into turn number 2. On lap number 2. So 2 down, 2 to go. Shannon looks like he's going to be okay to get into the final. So does Haynu. But that battle for 3rd between the 519 and the 225, that is the transfer spot. So we'll keep our eye on that one as they head down here into turn number 1 on lap number 3. Remember, we only go 4 times around here in semifinal A. Shannon leads. Haynu runs in 2nd. Kent Henderson's doing a great job in the bank on it, still holding off Nick Roos for 3rd. Roos runs in 4th. The battle between Leger on the outside and the 48 of Donald LeDuc on the inside, battling out for 5th and 6th. So coming around to get the white flag this time by 1 more lap around for Tommy Shannon to stamp his way into the final. Same for Jacob Haynu. So those 2 guys are going to be in the final if they can just bring it around 1 more lap. But right now, Nick Roos has got to hunt down Kent Henderson to try to make it into that final. That transfer spot is up for grabs between the 225 and the 519 as they head down into turn number 1. We're going to keep our eyes right there. It is now Nick Roos on the outside of Kent Henderson, and Roos has moved up into 3rd position. Nikolai Roos has moved up into 3rd over top of Kent Henderson, who is back to 4th. Coming off the exit pit of turn number 2. The 306 and Tommy Shannon will win the semifinal. He will automatically transfer. Jacob Haydu will get 2nd. He will automatically transfer. Who will do it for 3rd? It's Roos on the outside and Henderson on the inside. And Nick Roos will drive around Kent Henderson, and he will finish in 3rd and transfer to the final. Kent Henderson will wind up in 4th. Danny Leger, it's going to be LeDuc will wind up 5th, and Danny Leger will wind up 6th. Great battle for 3rd all race long between Kent and Nick, and Nicholas was able to move up on the outside and take over 3rd position. We'll wait to see if there's any calls, but unofficially, it'll be the 306, the 2, and the 225 transferring to the final. Up next, semifinal B, we'll have 7 more H350s on the water for you in semifinal B.
Love hockey? Check out bet99.net.
Yeah, she's got me. Yep. Yep. All right. Unfortunately, due to incoming weather, we are going to have to officially cancel the remainder of the card today, unfortunately. We want everybody to be safe. Want everybody to get home safely. Want our cranes to be put down. But unfortunately, for the remainder of the day, we're going to have to cancel the rest of the finals, so we don't want anybody getting hurt. So please drive home safely. Thank you so much for joining us here for the 2026 Thunder on the Niagara. It's been successful. Unfortunately, today, Mother Nature's going to win. We're not going to get to run all the finals, but we got a lot of racing in. Hats off to the entire team putting on this event. Everybody, John Krebs and his entire team have done a tremendous job. So hats off to those guys. Hats off to the HRL team. But go home safe. Be safe. And we'll see you next year. First weekend in August for the 2027 Thunder on the Niagara. Good night, everybody.